Hey guys, it's me, Carla, with Carla's Gardening Tips. I have grown up my whole life doing a garden in rows, making hills, as we learned to call it growing up. This is a hill. This is what a hill looks like right here, if you guys can see it. And in the past several years, since we've had this place, I have made hills by hand. Some people have machines to do it. I use a hoe. Hard work. Last year, I had to go with to my mom's for about 5 weeks on and off through the summer, and my husband did not tend to the garden like I would have, so we had a garden full of weeds. So this year, I chose to try something quite different that my granddaddy would probably die about if he were still with us here. But so this year I decided, I'd done some research on YouTube, and I thought, well, hey, I'm going to try it out. You know, it's just a season of growth. Hopefully it's going to work. So in the fall, I took the chicken manure from the chicken coop over there, and we put it all out on the soil here in our garden spot. And I'm going to back up and see if you guys can get a good picture of it. It's quite big. It's probably, I don't know. My husband could tell you. He's an engineer. I don't know how big it is, but it's pretty big. So I decided to get some of the weed paper and put down just to help with the weeds. We put the chicken manure on it in the fall, and all the trees that you see around here that shed their leaves this fall, my son and I raked and blew up and put on a big tarp, and we hauled them over here to the garden spot. We let them sit on the soil on top of the chicken manure all winter, all seasons, fall and winter. And then we tilled the soil up really good. We laid this black weed-proof paper down. You see the top corner up there, there is no weed paper. I'm going to start up here, I guess, in the top corner. I've got a lot of banana tree and elephant ears. This soil up here is not great soil for gardening the past couple of years. No matter what I've done, it's a red. We have a lot of red clay here in South Carolina, so this was just not a good quality soil for vegetables. The vegetables have never grown well. So what I've done is moved some of my banana tree and elephant ears here. They multiply. They can grow in anything, and I've sold some this spring. Did pretty good on it for 2 or 3 weekends, and so I've just dug the rest of the bulbs up and put them over here to grow, to multiply, which will be some income next spring for me for my garden. So just something you can do to that spot. You can see grass coming up. I'm trying to knock that grass out, which is why you see this straw bale over there. A friend of mine let me know that if you put the straw down heavily, it'll kind of smother it out. So kind of an all-natural treatment that I'm going to try. I'll let you guys know how that goes. But the weed paper is doing fabulous. As you can see up here at the top, what I did was kind of just started with the produce that grew the highest. And you can't see where I'm standing, but you probably can't tell. If you look down this way, it's actually a slant. There's like a slant down, very casual slant. So you see all of this growing here. Let's see if I can get my zoom in here. I'm on my tablet, which I'm used to being on my laptop or PC, so bear with me. You can see all these plants down here, these 2 rows, and these holes here we just planted. When using weed paper, instead of getting scissors out, great tip I learned on YouTube, get you a blowtorch. Yes, I know how to use a blowtorch. Instead of using scissors to cut, you burn a hole in the weed paper, drop your seeds in, cover it up, and you're good to go, which is better than using a shovel or trying to use scissors because you have less area that is open for grass to grow through. So, all of this is corn. Good, sweet South Carolina corn. And as you can see, it's doing very, very well. We planted these as seeds about 2 weeks ago. So I've just been kind of waiting for them to grow up. This with the holes is another row of corn. My husband just planted these. These are his plantings. I'm the farmer. He's the city boy, so we'll see if his come up. You guys can root for him, but we'll see. He wanted to see if he could do it, so we'll see on that one. Next, I have got tomatoes here. These cages, we do not buy from Lowe's or anywhere. We just went, and as you can see, we have half of our property fenced in for animals, which we don't have any animals now. Unfortunately, the foxes and coyotes and hawks just took off the rest of my chickens, my beautiful chickens, but there is what we call cow fence, and I don't know if you can see it. It's really inexpensive to buy. You can get it at Tractor Supply, and it comes like in a roll. We make our own tomato cages because if you go buy those little tiny ones, and I've got some down there, I'll show you in a minute, when the tomato plants get big, they lift them out of the ground, the tomato plants fall, and it's just not worth it. Pay $3 or $4 for a tomato cage for tomato plants, so we made our own. Which this whole row is tomatoes. Better Boy and Roman is the only two kind we're planting this year. Sorry, there is a huge airplane just going by under the trees. Oh my Jesus. I was trying to capture it. It's so low I couldn't even see it. Maybe you guys caught a picture of it. That was really low. That's crazy. Hope it's okay. Wow. That was really, really low because the closest airport is like 30 minutes away. Wow. That was unreal. Next row, I am a pepper jelly maker. So we grow all kinds of peppers. We've got green peppers, red peppers, banana peppers, cayenne peppers, habanero peppers, all kinds of stuff. These have been very hard to come by, but we actually have 2 ghost pepper plants and 2 Carolina Reaper peppers, which are said to be the hottest in the world. My husband and my son love peppers, so we'll see. My husband said those seeds for those were selling for like $8 or $9 on eBay. That's crazy. More pepper plants. So we have like 4 rows of peppers, as you can see. It takes so many peppers to make pepper jelly. We love peppers. Love them. Behind me is cantaloupes, and we've left this spot for them just to run because those vines travel, kind of like cucumbers and watermelons. So the cantaloupes, they're small now, but they will travel on down. We built these fences out of the cow fence as well for our... I have snow peas right here, which are yummy in salads. You guys know what snow peas are like. So I sowed 2 rows of those to grow up the fence line. And here are your green beans, which are wonderful to cook and eat for dinner. But I love to pickle them as well. They're awesome in Bloody Marys. Pickled green beans. I got that in New Orleans when I ordered the Bloody Marys. Hopefully I can keep the deer out of them this year. They're doing super fabulous. And then over here I have got cucumbers because I love to make dill pickles and sweet pickles. And I need to plant more because there's definitely not enough cucumber plants there. But I'm running a little late on that. And then on the back fence over here is squash growing. And instead of letting them run on the ground this year, this is again a new thing I found on YouTube. We built these panels to let them run up and grow up like on a trellis. So these are actually, it can be quite expensive to buy the sticks, the peg sticks to put in the ground. These are actually tobacco sticks of my granddad's, and he passed in the year 2000, and he was 78 years old. And these were still in the old tobacco barn, and my cousin gathered some up and gave them to me. Thank you, Candace. And here, just barely coming up, I have some cabbage planted and some cilantro. You guys can't see that too good yet. Over here we have just planted okra. You can see the holes where we use the blowtorch. And there's a couple of little okra plants coming up. I can probably show you. There's one. They're just now coming up. They've only been in the ground planted about 3 days. It does not take long at all for the seedlings to pop up if you get good seeds. There's a couple of little hearts for you. That's okra. Have 2 rows of that. Nothing like some good fried okra. Down here are onions. Sweet onions. Not Valdea. They're all sweet onions. Yummy, yummy, beautiful onions. Here are the tomato plant cages that I was telling you guys about from Lowe's that cost $4. Ridiculous. These were 2 tomato cages I had, old cages from a couple of years ago. And I actually have some lemon thyme planted under this one. I just put the cage there until the thyme could get big enough so we wouldn't step on it. And same thing here. And over here, you know, I always have to cleanse and clear with my sage. That's sage, and that is sage. I'll show you guys what it looks like. A lot of my friends love to cleanse and clear with sage, but it's dried out. Well, here's what it looks like living and beautiful. This is the regular white sage. I do have lemon sage growing over in my yard. So, I hope you've liked this video, and thank you very much. Have a beautiful night. Love and light.